Are you tired of all your bases getting overrun in Project Zomboid? Do you want to know the secret spots that will give you the upper hand? Today, I'm revealing my picks for the top 11 bases that will turn your survival game around. These are locations that you might have overlooked, but they could be the difference between life and death in the game. Let's dive right into this. Starting off strong, we have the Muldra Southern Gas Station. If you look towards the southern part of Muldra, you'll see a gas station that is situated right near the tavern and the diner. This location has a relatively low population considering how it's inside Muldra, but it's still close enough to be able to quickly get to prime looting locations. The police station is just north, and there's a VHS store near the police station as well, so you might be able to find some firearms and skilling tapes to help you with your carpentry levels. Just remember to use the skill books with the skill tapes to make the best use of them, as they can only be used once. The West Point storage lot. This option is really good for the more intermediate beginner players out there that want to challenge themselves. This spot has a ton of indoor storage units and a few bigger outdoor ones that you can find generators and lots of tools in. You could easily build this place to be a second story, steal a sink from the gas station or warehouse next door, and you'd have a really good location for surviving in. The storage unit is also surrounded by tall chain link fences on the sides and only have some shorter fences on the front of the building, which means you won't have to worry about several entrance points. If you get rid of these shorter fences, you could easily replace these with taller wooden ones as well. If you look just southwest of Muldra, you will find a huge complex of warehouses that are prime real estate for those looking for a warehouse base or even a looting location with high potential. You have a pretty good chance of finding a sledgehammer in at least one of these 8 warehouses, and you are almost guaranteed to find an antique stove here, and with all the trees around, you won't have a shortage of wood anytime soon. The last time I was here, I was using high pop and there was quite a few zombies, but it's a good location for beginners too if you have a lower population setting. For those that are more gutsy and really want some potential for action, south of the military checkpoint, there's a warehouse that is very similar to the warehouse in Riverside. The pros are, it's near a river, there are less zombies than inside the safe zone that the military built around Louisville, and it's close proximity to the military checkpoint, which means you may be able to find some decent guns and gear for your use if, or rather when, you decide to venture a bit further north past the checkpoint. A few hotspots around this location are the You Store It self-storage lot to the south a bit further, the Academy, which may hold a few skilling books, the gas station to the north a bit, and the train yard, which looks like it has a few smaller warehouses. The train yard is mostly fenced in as well, which may be a good option for a base if you decide to clear it out and plug up the holes that lead into Louisville proper. Are you enjoying this video so far? Why not leave a comment where your favorite base locations are, and why not subscribe and like while you're at it? The Rosewood Gas Station is located just as you enter or leave Rosewood. The gas station could be built up by a skilled carpenter into quite the base. This location has a good few looting locations nearby it, such as the fire station, which is also a great base location. Rosewood has a lot of homes that you could loot also, and it has the prison and the police station, which both have armories that you might be able to find some goodies from. If you're looking for medical supplies, both Rosewood Medical and the fire station have plenty for you to borrow from. This option is for both newbies and the veteran alike, the Rosewood Fire Station. This fire station is in the heart of Rosewood, and it gives you a fairly decent chance at finding those beloved fire axes and fire gear that makes really good vanilla armor. It can be built up fairly well to make an easily defended spot in a town that isn't nearly as busy as Muldra can be at times. In a previous video, we touched on the Rosewood Prison. This would make an excellent basing location while you clear out the prison. The Muldra You Store It isn't exactly for the beginner, but it can be a great place to keep the game interesting for the intermediate to advanced players out there. This location holds several storage units that hold quite a bit of loot, from generators to water jugs or even tools for helping you fortify this place. It could turn out to be a great location if you decide to build this place up a bit. Imagine this place with a second floor with sheet ropes coming down from all sides. Gas stations often make the most interesting bases in Project Zomboid, so I have another option for you, the Riverside Gas Station. This area usually starts with a small group of zombies hanging around in the parking lot. However, seeing how it is inside Riverside and has a tall fence on one side of it, You could continue the fence out and build yourself a cozy little safe zone here. The Riverside Police Station is right across the road, and there's a Spiffos restaurant in the same parking lot. There is also a US Post Office in town, which holds a lot of skilling books in their storeroom. Within walking distance of the gas station, there is also a VHS store, if you need some assistance in leveling up your carpentry skills for building out this place more. If you are an advanced player and you want to start from scratch to really challenge yourself, you could try the Central Park inside Louisville. This spot has tons of trees for you to use in base construction or even heating during winter. Since it is in Louisville, it has a ton of looting locations nearby, such as the Rail Yard, a pharmacy to the north, and the Grand Ohio Mall is just to the northeast of here. The Central Park also has a couple of lakes in the middle and some ponds in the golf course, so for someone that is more advanced in Project Zomboid and up for the challenge, I could see you having a blast here. I wouldn't recommend using cars though, as it would draw in a ton of zombies that you probably don't want to deal with. The farm near Ponio Romo is a great location for the person with dreams of living a simple life full of farming. This spot is centrally located, it has a well, several buildings including a house, shed, and a barn. There are plenty of trees nearby for heating during the winter, or even further fortifying the location. It may be pretty far out of the way, but it is centrally located, so you could make it to Rosewood, Riverside, and Muldra. If you have a working car, you shouldn't have any issues going for the occasional looting run to these towns. You may want to go to a warehouse first though, because the farmhouse only has a wood fireplace on the first floor, and you may want to make the upstairs your living quarters, just in case a horde ends up finding you during one of the helicopter events. This next location was also submitted by a fellow viewer such as yourself. The 3 houses on a roundabout in the outskirts of Louisville. This location may be incredibly difficult to get to, considering you'd either have to drive through Louisville or walk a long ways through the forest towards this location. However, once you finally make it there safe and sound, there is a low zombie population waiting for you here, as well as 3 amazing houses that are all fenced in with one entrance in and out. There are plenty of trees inside the fences and even more outside of the fences. In the backyard of one of these houses, there's even a small pool/pond here. You can even fish in this pool, which makes it a perfect source for food. This pond supplies you with all the water you could possibly drink and an easy spot to collect water for your farm that you will no doubt start here. And there you have it, survivors. If you have found this video on the best base locations for building up a base helpful, I've got plenty of more tips and tricks in my other videos. Click this playlist to check them out, and don't forget to subscribe for more survival strategies. Until next time, keep surviving.